guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my April recap video. I did one of these also at the end of March, and this is basically kind of like a monthly favorites video, but more so just a way to wrap up the month and share thoughts on any products that came into my collection at the beginning of this month. Most of the products I'm going to be talking about are things that were in my everyday makeup drawer, so if you were hoping for some kind of like a follow-up on my thoughts on those products, the ones, especially the ones that were new to me, this is kind of my way of wrapping things up for the month. So most of these products are recent additions to my collection that I've been testing out, and only one of them is an old product that has been a favorite this month. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So a couple of things I'm just going to go ahead and mention that were in my everyday makeup drawer and that are new to my collection, but I need more time to test out. The first one is the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. I've been very, very excited to test this out, but I was traveling a lot this month, and so this is not something that I was able to bring with me. And so I feel like I just haven't been able to test this out enough to where I can share a solid opinion on it. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about this, so hopefully more of a full review on this will come at the end of next month. And same with the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. I just haven't had enough chances to try this. But so far I will say that I haven't had a bad experience with it the several times that I have used it, but again, expect more of a full review on this coming up sometime in the near future. Okay, so one Ulta Beauty product that I have really been loving, this is new, and it was in my makeup drawer for this month, is the Matte Eye Primer in the shade Nude. This I had heard recommended quite a bit on YouTube, and since I was almost out of my Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, I decided to pick this one up. I did really love the Wet n Wild primer, but I always want to try something new, so this is the one I went for, and I have really been enjoying it. It works just as well as the Wet n Wild one, just as well as the Milani primer that I had a while ago. It holds on to shadows. I haven't had any creasing or fading with my eyeshadows since using this. And I also noticed that it has a little bit of coverage to it too, so if you're wanting to kind of cancel out any discoloration on your eyelids, this does a really good job of that. I know that this also comes in different shades. This one is just the nude one, but I think I also have one actually from Ulta that's like a shimmery peachy type of color, so if you're looking for a shimmery primer or a different shade, I know they carry some others as well, but I think this is just a really good like basic everyday eye primer. I'll definitely be getting a lot of use out of this. I'm pretty sure this is going to last forever because anything in a squeezy tube like this always lasts me so long. So I think this was around $10, so a little bit more pricey than like the Wet n Wild one or the Milani one, but it's still really good and it's still a pretty reasonable price. Okay, one thing that was new to me this month that has not been such a favorite simply because of the shade, and it's my fault really, but the Physicians Formula Super BB Cream, this is not a new product to the makeup world, but it is to my collection. I know I had this actually several years ago and I did use it up. This only comes in two shades. I have it in the shade Light, which is the lightest of the two, and it is way too dark, like comically dark. And I know you guys are probably like rolling your eyes at me because I have been famous the last several months for picking foundation type products that are way too dark for me. And I mean, I'll fully admit to that. I need to be more careful in the future, but I am frustrated that they only have two shades of this. Physicians Formula in the past has been known for having pretty terrible shade ranges, and I just don't know how they call this light because this looks like medium to me. I almost wonder if this is mislabeled. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to declutter this just yet because I am actually planning on doing a little bit of self-tanning coming up this summer, so maybe this shade will work for me when I do that, or at least it'll work better for me, because I'm really tired of spending my money on things and then decluttering them because the shade doesn't work. Like, I need to be more careful about that in the future. But aside from the shade, I actually do really like this BB cream. I like the way that it wears on my skin. It doesn't look too greasy, doesn't look too cakey either. So as far as the finish goes, I do really enjoy it. But yeah, if one of the two shades works for you, then I'd say go for it, but been kind of disappointed about that one. So one product that was in my everyday makeup drawer that was kind of like a rediscovered favorite is the Terre the Terre Mineral Blush in Rosy. This is a loose powder blush, so I intentionally put it in my makeup drawer so I could get more use out of it because I always forget to reach for loose powder products. And this kind of just reminded me how much I really do enjoy this blush. I am wearing it today. And because it's a loose powder, it blends so nicely. It looks really natural. I love this shade. It's just like the perfect rosy pink. So yeah, this is just kind of a reminder to you guys to use your loose powder products if you have them. I'm sure I'm not the only one who always forgets to reach for loose powders. But anyway, I have really enjoyed this blush this month, and I'm glad that I decided to pull it back out and pay more attention to it this month. One item that is new to me that I finally got my hands on is the Real Techniques setting brush. This I think most people use this for highlighter, but I mean it's great for setting the under eyes as well. I'm really glad that I finally got this because I feel like before this I just did not have a good highlighter brush. I had like a fan brush from Eco Tools that's fine, but it just gives a very diffused application. And then I also had the e.l.f. small tapered brush, which I really prefer to use that for setting the under eyes, and it doesn't quite pack on much of a punch as I would like for highlighter. But this, on the other hand, it's a little bit smaller. Something about the way that the bristles are tapered, it just picks up enough highlighter that it really does distribute a good amount of product. So I'm really happy that I finally got my hands on this brush. I've been using it pretty much every day since I got it. I've been meaning to pick this up for the longest time, and it just took me forever to remember to buy it. Yeah, if you're on the hunt for a good highlighter brush, this is a great option, and it's pretty affordable too. Okay, so another thing that was in my everyday makeup drawer for this month is my Makeup Geek palette. This is a palette that I put together. This is like their empty travel palette. I can't remember the exact name of this empty palette, but I'll link it below. And I have 8 shadows in here that I picked out. I am actually wearing a couple of them today, so I'll go ahead and tell you a few of my favorites. I really enjoy this middle shade right here that I have. This is the shade called Bake Sale, and that's just a really good kind of matte transition color. I've been using that quite a bit. This foiled shade is called Grandstand. I'm actually wearing that on the center of my lids today. It's very, very metallic, very pretty, kind of like a coppery, almost rose gold type of color. This blue shade is called Pegasus, and I actually did a look with this yesterday. Very, very much out of my comfort zone, but I do really enjoy that, and that packs quite a punch. It's very bright. This one is Aphrodite, and this one is called Venom, and that one I actually have on my outer corner and inner corner today. I kind of tried to do a little bit of a halo eye. I'm not really sure if I was successful, but that's kind of, I did use quite a few of these shades today. Really been enjoying these. I'm glad I finally got my hands on some Makeup Geek shadows. The last thing I'm going to mention today is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I have it in the shade Taupe. I got this in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and this was my first time. Finally got around to trying it, and I have really been enjoying it. I mean, I'm not surprised. I knew I was going to like it because everyone seems to like it. I feel like I pretty much always have a good brow day when I use this. It's very easy to work with. I will say, since the tip is so thin, which is what it's known for, it does take kind of a while to fill in your brows, but I still really enjoy it. I would be curious to try their brow definer, which is more of the triangular tip. I think that might be a little bit quicker to work with. But anyway, I would say that this does live up to the hype. I don't know if I'd pay full price for it. I actually got this half off in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. So yeah, I don't know if I'd pay full price for it, and once I run out of it, I'll probably search for a drugstore equivalent that would save me a little bit of money. But I do really like this. Also, the shade Taupe is pretty much the perfect tone for me, and I am wearing this today, by the way. So that's kind of a roundup of a lot of the products that I have either been enjoying this month or that were new to me and that I've been testing out. Those are kind of my final thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.